And a very pleasant good morning, baseball fans, and welcome to day number 2 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament in Wasilla, Alaska. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining me today as we get ready for a huge slate of games on this sunny Tuesday afternoon in the Mat-Su Valley. We've got 4 games going on today. The first one in front of us, the Palmer Pioneers, who were victorious last night against Wasilla. They are taking on the Madisonville Rangers from Kentucky, the team that had to travel by far the furthest to get here, or maybe didn't have to travel that far considering they just wrapped up a tournament in Kenai just a couple of days ago. So we'll talk about that tournament for Madisonville, of which they won that tournament off the back of some outstanding pitchers. Palmer, though, with a convincing win last night against a league opponent and cross-county rival, the Wasilla Road Warriors. We've still yet to meet the Klamath Falls Falcons this tournament. We'll get to them later today. Again, 4 games today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us today on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Before we get too much further, yes, I am an Oregon-based broadcaster here on behalf of the Klamath Falls Falcons. Lucky enough to be able to broadcast every game of the tournament, and that is because of some wonderful sponsors who've stepped up in a big way. First, the Alliance in Alaska in support of American Legion Baseball. The Alliance stepped up along with the Alaska Sports Report. Van Williams spearheading both of those efforts, at least in terms of getting me here to Alaska and on the airwaves today. So big shout out to the Alliance and the Alaska Sports Report. Also want to highlight Alaska 529. Of course, they're the title sponsor of the tournament coming up in Anchorage later on this week, but want to also give a thanks to Alaska 529 for sponsoring today's broadcast. You can visit them online and get your savings account, your 529 account started today, and help your kid further their education. Also, one more time for Alaska Airlines, another sponsor of today's broadcast. Alaska Airlines is literally how I got here to Alaska, from Medford to Seattle to Anchorage. It was great all the way through. We'll talk more about these sponsors and give them a shout as we move on throughout the broadcast today. But as you watch the commercials, which we'll step aside for a quick break, yes, they are all from Oregon. That's where I'm from, and got to give my own folks some love as well. So just a few minutes away from first pitch in game number 2 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll introduce you to the starting lineups and get ready for first pitch. It's right around the corner on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
And welcome you back to Bumpus Fields, tucked away in the Matsu Valley of Wasilla, Alaska. Josh Eldridge here. Glad to be with you today. Such an intimate setting for a baseball tournament, and just could not be more pleased to be along with you for the broadcast today. Just a couple of minutes away from first pitch between the Palmer Pioneers and the Madisonville Rangers from the state of Kentucky. So let's go ahead and introduce you to the starting lineups. First for the visitors today, and that's going to be the Palmer Pioneers. Leading off for them will be their starting pitcher, Reed Craner. Easton Cook, the shortstop, bats second, followed by the first baseman, Cody Otto, hitting third. Timothy Bridgman, the third baseman, bats cleanup for the Pioneers, followed by Hayden Sherman, the left fielder, batting fifth. Tristan Berry is the center fielder. He hits sixth. Hudson Broder is in right field, batting seventh. Sawyer Leengang is at second base. He bats eighth. And Wyatt Beal, the catcher, rounds out the order for the Palmer Pioneers. They will go up against Aiden Rice on the hill for Madisonville. The starting lineup behind him goes like this for the Rangers as they take the field. Leading off at third base is Connor Mitchison. Xavier Martin is in left field batting second. Layden Bozarth, the shortstop, hits third. Hayden Hudson at first base hitting cleanup, followed by the designated hitter, Jaden Taylor. Jalen Groves is in right field batting sixth, followed by the center fielder, Easton Mefford, the batting seventh in center field. We've got number 28 for Madisonville, I believe. Let's see, I can't read my own handwriting here. Micah Austin. Pardon me, Micah. Couldn't make out if my last letter here was an N or an H. It is Micah Austin at second base, batting eighth for Madisonville. Then Tate Nobles, the catcher, rounds out the order for Madisonville as they take the field in their red jerseys today. Madisonville written across their chest in white cursive text, and a little bit of a blue outline going on for them. Palmer in the same uniforms they wore yesterday, gray pants and their blue tops with that orange letter P right over their throwing side. So just a couple of minutes away from first pitch. Again, the teams are out here warming up, getting ready to go. Madisonville rolling into Wasilla just probably not too long ago, coming off of a tournament win in Kenai, and their most recent win was back on Sunday, so had a day off yesterday, but won that tournament off the backs of some outstanding pitching. In 28 innings, that's 4 total games, they had an ERA of 1. Yes, an ERA of 1 in that time span. Again, across the same 28 innings, 34 strikeouts. They were just incredulous in Kenai and on their way to the Wood Bat Tournament title. But now starting anew and against a team that won their first game of this tournament last night against Wasilla, the Palmer Pioneers are ready to get going today. And again, thanks to the Alliance and the Alaska Sports Report and all of our other sponsors for allowing us to get on the air today. There you can see the scoreboard in the bottom left of your screen, and we are just about ready for first pitch. It looked to be off speed in there for a strike. The count is 0-1, starting right on time at 11 o'clock here at Alaska Daylight Time. First of 4 games from Bumpus Fields. The 0-1 pitch to the leadoff hitter for Palmer, Reed Craner. He swings and misses at that pitch, falls behind in the count, now 0-2. It's, again, Aiden Rice on the mound for Madisonville. We'll take a statistical outlook on him here in just a moment after the 0-2 pitch. Finds the outside slot there on the slider and got Craner down looking for the first out in the first inning. So Rice on the mound, the right-hander from Madisonville, making his second start of the summer. So far, he's pitched 3 innings in that one start. It came back on June 11th. He picked up the win in that start, gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, no strikeouts. Here's a pop fly to left field. That was actually way over the head of the left fielder. Lost track of it, but that was a stand-up double for Easton Cook on the very first pitch he saw. And that is the first base hit for Palmer today, and a man in scoring position. Now, one thing you'll see from this Pioneers team, or at least one thing I noticed yesterday, is that they swing often and early in the count. I mean, that was a first pitch swing and a line drive double deep to left field. And a man in scoring position now batting is Cody Otto, the left-handed bat for Palmer. Waits the first offering from Aiden Rice. And the pitch. It is going to be called a strike. The count is 0-1. Looked to be off speed and found the outside corner. Nice location there for Rice. We'll see how he mixes speeds and locations against Palmer today. They took advantage of Wasilla pitching last night, and Guzman really did pitch a good game, but just a couple of elevated fastballs was all Palmer needed to drive a couple balls into the outfield and pick up a run. Here's a ground ball into right field. They're going to keep Cook at third, and so the Pioneers will have runners at the corners with just one out, and Timothy Bridgman set to bat now. And it was a 4-1 win last night for Palmer in the first game of this tournament. And for Timothy Bridgman as he awaits his first pitch, it is an outside fastball, misses off the plate, 1-0. Bridgman was 0 for 3 in that ball game, still looking for his first hit of this tournament. After him in the order is Hayden Sherman for Palmer. Outside fastball, pretty much similar location to the previous pitch, and again missing outside. The count is 2-0. Easton Cook aboard at third. Cody Otto aboard at first after a couple of one-out hits. Palmer looking to strike first here. It took them until the third inning to get their first run across last game. But flirting with it early here as the 2-0 pitch is fouled off. The count is now 2-1. Timothy Bridgman, along with playing third base. You might see him on the hill sometime this tournament, class of 2027. So he'll be a junior next season. Rice comes set, delivers the pitch. It's a strike called on the inside corner, 2-2. Looked like it might have been a changeup from Rice. Still trying to get a look at his velocity, but a good location down around the knees, inside corner. All right, delivering the sign is Nobles, the other half of the battery for Madisonville. We'll take a look at their defensive order here in just a minute. After a move over to first, Hudson applies the tag, but back safely is Cody Otto. And again, we'll just wait until the next pitch to fully introduce you to the defense for Madisonville. Pitch on the way. Big bending curveball misses upstairs, and the count runs full. Starting at third base is Mitchison, Bozarth at short, Austin at second with Hudson at first. Martin is in left, Mefford in center, and Groves is in right for the team from Kentucky, traveling 3,800 miles to be here in Alaska for these tournaments. Ground ball down the third base line is again foul. Hot hands down the third base line for Coach for Palmer. Makes the play, but it was foul ball. He'll stuff it in his back pocket, and we'll do it again in a full count, 3-2 to Timothy Bridgman. Not too much of a lead off of third for Cook, with a third baseman, Mitchison, not even really worried about him either. Playing in on the cut of the grass as the outside pitch misses, and that will load the bases for Hayden Sherman as Otto advances to second. Bridgman aboard on the walk, so bases loaded, one out for Sherman. Well, Sherman was 1 for 3 in the contest last night. Scored a run in that game. No RBIs, but was able to leave his mark by getting around and scoring on the base paths. Here he bats, though, with the bases loaded. First pitch swinging, high fly ball left field. That one's drifting foul. And a loud strike one to start the at-bat for Hayden Sherman. He'll be followed in the order by Tristan Berry. Sherman, class of 27. He'll also mix in some time on the mound, listed as an outfielder and a pitcher. And starting in left field, made some really nice plays defensively last night against Wasilla, helping his team cling on to a 3-run victory against the host team. Inside fastball misses, and the count is even now, a ball and a strike. Again, take a look at the rest of the day. Again, I said a total of 4 games. After this one is concluded, Madisonville will play the second leg of a doubleheader for them. They will play the host Wasilla. Here's a fly ball left field. Put this thought on pause. Martin gets under it, makes the catch, but tagging from third is Easton Cook. A really good throw from the outfield, but Cook beats the throw. Boy, that was a really outstanding throw by Martin in left, but Cook just that much quicker, and Palmer will strike first, up 1-0 in the top of the first inning. Also tagging to get to third was Cody Otto. Bridgman stayed put at first, so now there's 2 outs and runners at the corners for Tristan Berry. Gives Sherman a sacrifice fly and the RBI as Berry gets ready to step in. Berry 2 for 3 last night in the win against Wasilla. He also scored a run in that contest. Now looking for a base hit, trying to put up a crooked number in the top of the first inning. Rice gets the sign from Nobles, checks the runner at first before coming set. Here's the pitch. Misses down and away, kicks away from the catcher Nobles for a moment, keeps it in front of him, but it is enough to allow Bridgman to advance to second, not enough to allow Otto to score from third. So a fine job there by the catcher for Madisonville. That's Nobles. He just graduated in 2025 for Madisonville. Ground ball out towards short. Bozarth is going to have a little bit of trouble with it. Strong throw to first, recovered in time, and makes the out. But Palmer does strike first in the inning. They use 2 base hits to get there, and they leave 2 men stranded. They'll take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the first inning on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
All right, getting set for the bottom of the first inning at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. It is Palmer who leads Madisonville 1-0 in the first of 4 games today. I was interrupted or had to put the thought on pause about what the rest of the schedule looks like today. I'll tell you about that later on this half inning, but first want to reintroduce you to the starting 9 for the Madisonville Rangers. Leading off their third baseman, Connor Hutchison. Xavier Martin is in left field. He bats second. Layden Bozarth, the shortstop, hits third. Hayden Hudson is at first base. He hits cleanup. The designated hitter, Jaden Taylor, bats fifth. Jalen Groves in right field hitting sixth. Easton Mefford, the center fielder, batting seventh. Micah Austin, the second baseman, hitting eighth. And Tate Nobles, their catcher, rounds out the order for Madisonville. They'll be going up against Reed Craner on the mound for Palmer, making his third start of the summer, his fourth overall appearance. He's thrown 7 innings so far this summer, a 1-1 record. He's given up 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He struck out 7, good enough for an ERA of 4 even. And he gets the start today against Madisonville. First pitch, line drive over the head of the center field, over the head of the second baseman. Could wind up being extra bases. A big turnaround first, but Mitchison going to stay there, and a leadoff single for the Rangers as they try to respond to the single-run Palmer scored at the top half of the inning. Well, that's certainly one way to do it. This will bring up Xavier Martin. Martin was instrumental in the Rangers tournament win in Kenai earlier over the last weekend. He finished 4 for 9 in that tournament with 4 RBI. And again, those 4 games that Madisonville played there, they finished 3-1. And won the title game 2-0 over the host team. First pitch to Martin, and it's an off-speed pitch that's looped in there for strike 1. Craner looked like he went maybe circle changeup. Could have been a 2-seam, although, again, just getting used to the velocity for these guys. But a good location outside to the left-handed hitting Martin. Pitch on the way. Runner is on the move. The throw down to second is a bit high. And tag is applied. Mitchison is in safely. The throw was there in time, but Cook had to reach for it, then apply the tag. So Mitchison in there with a steal. And for him, that is his 6th stolen base of the summer. He's been caught twice, good for about a 75% success rate, somewhere in there, stealing bags for Mitchison. Now in scoring position, Madisonville in a fine spot to try and respond here. Set on the mound is Craner. He kicks and delivers. The pitch misses outside, and the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Oh, pardon me, 2 balls and 1 strike. After Martin is Layden Bozarth. Xavier Martin, class of 24. Already 1 year removed from high school there in Madisonville, Kentucky. Here he shows bunt, lays off on the pitch that misses outside, and the count now moves to 3-1. On the season, Martin is also leading the team in hitting, batting .533 to start the summer. Pitch on the way, misses upstairs, and a walk will put 2 men on now for Layden Bozarth. Mitchison remains at second as Bozarth gets ready to step in. Bozarth, class of 27, stands 5'10", 165 pounds in the right-handed batter's box. He gets the start at shortstop today. Made the put out to get Madisonville out of the last half inning. Set on the mound is Craner. He delivers, and a fly ball center field. Barry is on the run. That is well over his head and will get down for extra bases. They're waving in Mitchison. They are going to hold up Martin at third. So an RBI double evens us at 1. And now 2 men will be in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, Hayden Hudson. Bozarth with the extra base hit, scoring Mitchison from second. Like I said, Martin went from first to third on that play. And here's Hayden Hudson, starting first baseman today for Madisonville. Layden Bozarth wrapping his second double of the summer on that one and picking up his third RBI. And now Hudson looking to add some more. First pitch to him. Curveball in there for a strike. Nice location by Craner. Count is 0-1. Looking at Hayden Hudson so far on the summer, batting .250. He's got 4 base hits, all of them singles, 4 RBIs, and 4 runs. It seems to be his favorite number. Here he swings and misses at strike 2. On deck is Jaden Taylor. He'd be the designated hitter for Madisonville. Pitch on the way from Craner. Goes off speed, curveball in the dirt, but he checked his swing in time, did Hudson. So battling back, the count now ball and 2 strike. Craner really trying to drop the hammer on Hudson there, get him to swing over that low curveball, but a nice job by the first baseman from Kentucky to lay off. Now Craner responds with the 1-2. Line drive, and it is off the glove of the shortstop Cook and into left field. He dove for it, wasn't able to make the play. 1 run scores. They're waving in Bozarth. The throw to get him in is not in time, and he will score. So a 2 RBI single for Hayden Hudson makes it 3-1. And Madisonville, Kentucky, now claims the lead for the first time against the Palmer Pioneers. Martin scored from third with ease. Bozarth was a close play at home. The throw in to Beal just took him up the line a little bit, and it allowed Bozarth to score. And Hudson picking up both of those RBIs, 5th hit of the year, and RBIs number 5 and 6 on the season for Hayden Hudson. And this will bring up Jaden Taylor. Taylor batting from the right side. Hitting in for the starting pitcher for Madisonville, Aiden Rice, is the designated hitter. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Jaden Taylor batting .455 so far this summer for Madisonville, who enters play with an overall record of 5-3. That pitch is fouled back. The count is now 0-1. Before they got to Alaska, they had only played 4 games. A sweep against Twin City back on June 11th. They lost to Eugene Pate 6-5 back on the 12th. Started out the season with the loss in Indianapolis. So that pitch is taken low. Count is 2-1. Again, they started that tournament in Kenai with a 9-2 win over Juneau. They beat South Anchorage 3-1. They lost to Kenai on Saturday 4-2, but came back for the championship game and beat those guys 2-0 to claim the championship game. It's the first time that a team from Kentucky had ever won that tournament. And so congratulations for them. They're hoping to carry that on into this event here in Wasilla. Count is 2-2 to Taylor. Runner aboard at first. Already 3 runs home for Madisonville this inning. Here's a towering fly ball to left field. It'll be the left fielder, Sherman, who moves over in the gap to make the catch for the first out. Staying at first there is Hayden Hudson. Jalen Groves, right fielder for Madisonville, getting ready to step in. Groves tall in the right-handed batter's box, stands 6'1". The first pitch in misses. The count 1-0. Groves was 0 for 2 in the championship game against Kenai back on Sunday. Looking to contribute here. Second pitch, fists one out to shallow right field. That one gets down. Doesn't have to be a pretty hit, but a hit nonetheless will advance Hudson to second. And Groves aboard with now the 4th hit of the inning for Madisonville. And 2 men are on for Easton Mefford. Mefford will be a senior next year, batting from the left side. He's the starting center fielder for Madisonville. Pitch is on its way and is fouled back. The count is 0-1. Looking at the numbers for Mefford so far this summer, batting .333. He's got 2 triples, leads the team in that metric through the first part of the summer. Here's the pitch to Mefford. Misses wide. The count is even now 1-1. Well, as a team, this Madisonville squad can really swing it. The whole group hits .312. And another ground ball towards first. Snagged by the first baseman, Otto. Throws to second for 1, but that looks like all Palmer will get. And so trying to turn 2, but instead they'll wind up with runners at the corners for Micah Austin as Mefford reaches there on the fielder's choice. Well, like I said, .312, the team batting average for Madisonville. And just to compare that to Palmer, who bats .241 as a team. So Palmer's going to have to play their best and try to rally back in the next half inning. Not let Madisonville try to build this out. And again, one more runner in scoring position at third. That's Hudson. Runner is on the move. The throw down to get Mefford is in time. And, well, that's how you get out of an inning. Madisonville does score 3 runs in the frame on 4 base hits. They leave 1 stranded, and they lead 3-1 as we go to the top of the second on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Top of the second inning in the first of 4 games today from Wasilla, Alaska. The Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers 3-1. Like I said, first of 4 games today at 1:30. Madisonville will play their second of a doubleheader against our hosts, Wasilla. Again, 1:30 Alaska time start there. 4 o'clock, Palmer retakes the field. They will play the Klamath Falls Falcons from Klamath Falls, Oregon. Those Falcons will then retake the field at 6:30 against Wasilla. So a full day of baseball today, and then we come back tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon as the Klamath Falls Falcons will face Madisonville, Kentucky, the two out-of-state teams, and then that will square us up for a 4 o'clock title game coming up on Wednesday, and very excited for to see who's going to be able to come out and win this event. Last year, the championship game was rained out, so we haven't had a champion since 2023. Here's a high fly ball off the bat of Hudson Broder. It's in foul territory behind third and caught by the third baseman Mitchison. 1 pitch and 1 out in the top of the second inning. This will bring up Sawyer Lingang for Palmer. Got 1 at-bat yesterday in the win against Wasilla, but was 0 for 1. On the season, Lingang batting .250. He's got 5 hits. All of them have been singles so far this summer. So he awaits the first pitch, misses upstairs. The count 1-0 from Aiden Rice. Madisonville on the full Alaska baseball tour. As that pitch misses outside, 2-0. Like I said, they played in Kenai just on Sunday, won the championship there. They're here in Wasilla, of course, for this tournament, and then they'll be in Anchorage to close out the week for the 5-2-9 Classic. In there for a strike, the count 2 balls and a strike to Lingang. Not everyone who comes through this area goes and does all 3 tournaments. In fact, by my count, I think they're the only one. Here's a ground ball down the third base side, through into left field, past the diving glove of Mitchison, rolls all the way down the left field line, and Lingang in with a stand-up double. Second double of the day for the Pioneers, and they got themselves a runner in scoring position for Wyatt Beal. Now, Beal had a great game yesterday against Wasilla in that 4-1 win that Palmer had picked up to start the event. Beal was the one who got the scoring started for Palmer, as here he gets plunked in on the front shoulder. Won't get a chance to replicate it here, but just want to recall was 1 for 3 with that first RBI, had the only extra base hit of the day for Palmer yesterday. But here he gets hit by a pitch. He'll take first base, and now we're back to the top for Palmer with Reed Craner. And we're going to get a courtesy runner in for the catcher, Beal. It looks like it's going to be number 14 for Palmer, which would be someone who's not on my roster. Let's see, 14. Owen. Nope. Sam Meals is aboard there at first. He is running in for the catcher. Sam Meals at first. First pitch misses below the knees. The count 1-0 to Craner, who's 0 for 1 in the contest. He struck out to start the ball game. Trying to help himself out a little bit, the starting pitcher for Palmer. As Rice comes set, takes pause, and now steps off before the 1-0 pitch. Madisonville struck for 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Craner pops 1 foul. The count is 1-1. This is a good spot for Craner, like I said, to try and respond a little bit and right the ship under his own accord. Can do it on both ends. 2 man on and 1 out in the top of the second inning. This pitch misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. That elevated fastball can sometimes be hard to lay off, but good job there by Craner to recognize it and spit on it and get ahead in the count, 2-1. Another pitch to Craner. This one is popped up behind second base. Looks to be the shortstop, Bozarth, who will move over to make the catch for the second out. So it's still going to be Meals at first and Lingang at second. But now it's Easton Cook at the plate. Cook is 1 for 1 in the ball game so far. He doubled back in the first inning and came around to score the lone run of the game so far for Palmer. And so it's another big spot for him here, although this time an RBI opportunity. Here's the pitch, a curveball looped in there for a strike about knee-high over the outside corner. Maybe a touch low, as Cook not very thrilled with that call, but a good curveball. Lofted in there by Aiden Rice. That was a nice location. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He goes fastball, fly ball left field. Martin moving over towards the foul line, makes the catch on the run, and that will end the inning. One base hit for the Pioneers in the second, but they leave two men stranded, and they trail by 2 runs as we go to the bottom of the second on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Set for the bottom of the second inning, a game in which the Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers 3-1. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Rangers order, due up in the second inning. That's Micah Austin, Tate Nobles, and Connor Mitchison. Looks like Craner still out there on the hill for Palmer. Didn't pitch particularly poorly in the first inning, but Madisonville saw him well and collected 3 runs. An extra base hit in that inning off the bat of Layden Bozarth scored a run, and a 2 RBI single from Hayden Hudson is how Madisonville earned those 3 runs that they've got. The first pitch was a swinging strike. The second pitch was a curveball taken for strike 2 to Micah Austin, as Craner does a good job of getting ahead of the right-handed bat for the team from Kentucky. Here's the pitch. This time goes off speed high in the zone, and fouling it off is Austin. The count remains 0-2. Micah Austin on the season for Madisonville is taking his first at-bat, it looks like, by my numbers, and he will take strike 3. And he goes down looking to start the second inning. I want to make sure I'm not mistaken about that. Nope, Austin, pardon me, was batting 200 coming into that at-bat, but struck out there. That's the first time he struck out this season, so apologies to Austin, but he is the first out in the bottom of the second inning. Here's Tate Nobles. He will check his swing on the outside curveball, gets ahead 1-0. Nobles batting 158 to start the summer. He is 3 for his first 19, but his 2 doubles, good for second most on the team so far in the summer. That pitch misses high, 2-1. Seems like when he's able to get a hold of that ball, he definitely gives it a ride. He also has 3 RBI on the summer. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Popped it up, out of play behind first. The count is 2-1 to Tate Nobles. And again, it is the leadoff hitter due up next, Connor Mitchison, for the Madisonville Rangers. Beal delivers the sign to his pitcher, Craner. Agreeable. He kicks and delivers. Fires in a fastball low in the dirt. The count is 3-1 to Nobles. And 1 walk already in the game for Craner. In danger of offering up a second free pass here on the 3-1 count. Instead, a fastball lifted into shallow left field. And another great catch by Sherman in left. Oh, boy. He does it again. He did that yesterday, and here he lays out for 1 and comes up with it, loses his cap, and then flips it behind his back like that was nothing at all. What a great catch out there and left for the second out in the second inning. Connor Mitchison batting now with 2 outs and nobody on for Madisonville. He singled and came around to score back in the first inning. This will be his second look at Craner in the ballgame. Pitch on the way. Curveball in there for a strike. Nice outside breaking ball. Count is 0-1. I think Mitchison probably thought it was a little off the outside part of the plate, but I think that was a great location by Craner. As he comes set and delivers the pitch. That one misses, no doubt about that. Bounced to the plate. The count is even now, a ball and a strike. If the inning continues, it's Xavier Martin who is on deck for Madisonville. Mitchison, standing 6 foot tall in the right-handed batter's box, awaits the 1-1 pitch. That one bounces to the plate as well, gets by the catcher, but no harm with no runners on base. The count is 2 balls and a strike to Mitchison. Take a look around the dimensions while we have a quick moment here at Bumpus Field in Wasilla, Alaska. 324 down either line, 350 to left and right center, and 390 to straightaway center field. Pitch on the way, another fly ball left field. This one is carrying. Sherman is going back. That one is going to hop off the bottom of the wall, and it'll be extra bases for Mitchison, and a 2-out double puts a man in scoring position for Xavier Martin. Hit that ball about 348 feet and winds up at second base. Second double of the day for Madisonville. And Xavier Martin, the left-handed bat who walked his first time around, looking to come up with a 2-out RBI and finish out the rally that Mitchison set him up for. Set is Craner, now working out of the stretch. And the pitch. Fastball down the middle, grounded right back to Craner on the hill. Underhand toss to first is there, and that will end the inning. Madisonville gets that one double with 2 outs, but that's all they'll get as they leave him stranded. They do carry a 3-1 lead as we go to the third inning. This is the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament, and you're watching it live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Top of the third inning, a 3-1 ball game in which Madisonville leads Palmer at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Second game of the tournament overall. It is the first game of day number 2 here at Bumpus Fields. A full day of baseball ahead, brought to you in part by Alaska 529. You can visit them online at alaska529plan.com and save today for tomorrow's discoveries. Take the first step today with Alaska 529. All right, here we go. Top of the third inning. It'll be the middle part of the order for Palmer as the first pitch is taken upstairs to Cody Otto. He gets ahead in the count 1-0. Otto singled back in the first inning, but was left stranded at third. Now again tasked with starting the rally as his team trails by a pair of runs in the third inning. Slices one foul. And the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Otto on the season, second on the team in hitting, batting .318 to start the summer. He is 7 for his first 22 at-bats this summer for Palmer. Aiden Rice gets the sign from Nobles and delivers the pitch. That pitch misses low, bounces to the plate, 2-1. So Otto, Bridgman, and Sherman, the 3 guys due up for the Pioneers in the top of the third inning. The 2-1 pitch is going to miss inside over the top of the shoelaces of Otto. The count is 3-1. Otto can afford to be patient now in a definite hitter's count. Batting from the left side, keeps his knees bent and low. The 3-1 pitch is a curveball, and he will swing and miss at that one. I thought that was only strike 2, but I suppose that was strike 3. A nice curveball there by Aiden Rice in a 3-ball count to get auto and set him down for the first out in the third inning. This brings up Timothy Bridgman, who walked his first time around, so still looking for his first official at-bat of the ball game. Pitch on the way from Rice. Curveball misses in. The count is 1-0. Trying to go front door on the curveball to the right-handed hitting Bridgman. As Rice readies for the next delivery, that's the outside fastball in the zone for strike one. So going inside with the soft stuff, outside with the hard stuff. Now we'll see with an even count what Bridgman relies on to try to get ahead. Here's the offering. In the zone, high and away, over the plate about letter high, but just on the outside corner. That's a good location by Rice. Now looking for the put-away pitch in a 1-2 count. Goes outside, fastball misses. Now the count is 2-2 as Bridgman works it back even. And again, Hayden Sherman is on deck. Bridgman leads the Palmer Pioneers in hitting this summer, batting .478. Leads the next best hitter by about 150 points in batting average. Here's the pitch. It's an outside breaking ball, trying to get Bridgman to chase, but wisely laying off and running the count full 3-2. And Bridgman has 11 hits. It leads the team in that category. All 11 of them have been singles. His 7 RBI lead the team as well. He has been their go-to guy at least through the first 8 games this summer. And he's going to be a junior next year. Still room to grow. So that pitch misses upstairs to him, and he will work a walk with 1 out in the inning. Second time he's gotten on base with the walk today. And with 1 out, a runner on first, here's Hayden Sherman. Made a fantastic catch earlier in the ball game, laid out for it, and come up with it. Acted like it was nothing at all, but an outstanding play, and already an RBI for him today as well. A sacrifice fly back in the first inning, knocked in so far the only run of the ball game for Palmer. Here he takes a curveball in the dirt, misses outside, 1-0. On the season, Sherman batting .150. He's 3 for his first 20. But he has worked 6 walks, which is second most on the team, and he's scored 7 runs, which is third most on the team. So he's able to find other ways to get on base. Gets on base 35% of the time. As he fouls off that last pitch, the count is even now, a ball and a strike. And Sherman readies with the delivery. Ground ball sent out towards short. Bozarth is going to go on to Austin for 1, but the throw winds up in right field, and an error at shortstop is going to allow everybody to be safe. As Bridgman advances, Sherman reaches there. And now 2 men on, still 1 out. And here's Tristan Berry. Represents the go-ahead run, now the tying run on base for the Pioneers. Here's the first pitch to Berry. Swung on and a line drive into right field and a base hit. Looks like they are going to keep Bridgman at third. Content to go station to station a little bit as Sherman advances to second after that single. And now the bases will be loaded for Hudson Broder. Berry now 1 for 2 on the contest. He was 2 for 3 last night with a run scored against Wasilla. And now it's up to Hudson Broder. Go ahead run on base. Broder this season batting .190 for Palmer. Set on the mound is Rice, and the pitch. Slider misses outside. The count is 1-0. Might have been a curveball. Regardless, had quite a bit of movement on it, but dipped below the zone and outside to Broder as Rice comes set with the delivery. That one misses high and in, 2-0. Broder popped out in foul territory back in the second inning. We'll have timeout called by Madisonville as want to talk this over in a 2-0 count. Well, don't often see mound visits in the middle of an at-bat like this. I don't think we'll wind up seeing a change just yet from Madisonville. Their head coach, Jamie Mills, is assisted by Wes Davenport, Mark Austin, and Brian Thompson. And it looks to just be a normal visit out there on the mound. So while we have a moment, want to recognize some of the sponsors of today's tournament and the broadcast with the Alliance in Alaska, running pretty much everything to do with American Legion baseball here in Alaska. Not only that, during the prep season, in charge of the Cook Inlet Conference and the High School League, and they're partnering up with the Anchorage School District to make sure everything runs swimmingly. The group is led by Steve Nerlin and Don Winchester, Willie Paul, of course, and their media director, Van Williams, for coordinating this all on my behalf. Want to thank all those men for all the hard work that they do here in the state of Alaska. And you can see their logo there attached to the scoreboard. All right, 2-0 count to Hudson Broder. And the pitch is an outside fastball in the zone. The count is 2-1. It's about belt high off the black on the outside. Nice location there for Rice, who maybe just needed a little bit of encouragement as he is in a tough predicament with the bases loaded and one out. Here's a ground ball right back to the shortstop. Bozarth is going to throw on to first. The throw is in time, but a run does score, and an RBI for Broder as Bridgman scored from third and made it 3-2. Madisonville still in front, and there are still two men in scoring position with 2 outs for Sawyer Lingang. So Sherman advanced to third. Barry is at second. And Lingang, who doubled in his first at-bat, looking for more in this inning. He might find it. Line drive left field, base hit. We are tied. They are sending in Barry. The ball gets by the left fielder Martin and rolls a bit further. And Palmer has taken the lead, now up 4-3. After the 2 RBI single from Sawyer Lingang, he advances on the error. He is in scoring position as Wyatt Beal gets ready to bat now. Barry scoring from second. Sherman there at third. Or scoring from third, rather, is Beal, who is hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Swings at the first pitch he sees here. Ground ball to third. Mitchison throw on to first is in time, but Palmer rallies in the third inning, and they score 3 runs on 2 base hits, and they leave a man stranded. They'll take a 4-3 lead to the bottom of the third on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Bottom of the third inning, and Palmer has stormed ahead of Madisonville, Kentucky in the first game of day 2 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Our score is 4-3 with the Palmer Pioneers in front of Madisonville, but the Rangers a chance to respond in this half inning. It'll be Layden Bozarth, Hayden Hudson, and Jaden Taylor due up this half inning. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Rangers. And Reed Craner still out there on the hill for the Pioneers. Was able to get out of the second inning unscathed after Madisonville put a 3-spot on him in the first. But now having to go through the teeth of the order as Bozarth gets ready to step in. He doubled in a run back in the first inning. Craner ready to deliver the pitch. It's an upstairs fastball, misses 1-0. Bozarth on the season is batting .412. That last double was his second double of the summer as he takes a pitch in the zone for a strike. The count is 1-1, I believe. Craner works primarily from the stretch. Curveball misses in. So the count is 2-1. Was waiting for that. I thought I'd missed a pitch, but no, we're all set. The count is 2-1 to Bozarth, batting from the right side. Here's the pitch. High fastball misses above the letters. The count is 3-1. That was a good location by Craner, but just missed upstairs. The idea of that one is try to get Bozarth to chase the elevated fastball, but a better take by the shortstop from Kentucky. Here's the pitch. That one misses below the knees and outside, and a walk is how we start the third inning, and it'll bring up Hayden Hudson. Only the second walk issued by Reed Craner so far in the game. He'll look to get back at Hayden Hudson, who singled in 2 runs back in the first inning. Craner set. Modest lead off of first for Bozarth as Craner comes in and produces a swing and a miss on the first pitch to Hudson. Hudson just wrapped up his senior year, class of 2025, as he takes ball 1 there, and he evens the count. So Madisonville having to come quite a long way, 3,800 miles over here to Alaska. And they, like I said, they are making the most of it, playing in all 3 tournaments. Line drive, shortstop, caught by the shortstop, Cook. The runner at first was trying to steal second, and he is dead in the water. Bozarth was standing on second already by the time Cook had caught the ball. No chance to get back to first base. Unfortunate for him on the hit and run. It backfires against Madisonville, and now there are 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Jaden Taylor. Taylor 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to left field back in the first inning. So looking to try to get some kind of rally started for Madisonville, who had their hopes snuffed out on that last double play. L6-3 on the double play there, as the first pitch was a ball outside to Taylor. And the next pitch on the way from Craner goes fastball in. It's popped up right side, looks out of play, foul. And the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Taylor, the designated hitter today. Pitch misses upstairs, 2-0. Craner rocks and delivers the 2-1. It skips to the plate. The count is 3-1. If Taylor's able to find a way to get on base here, it's Jalen Groves who bats next, the right fielder for the Rangers. Craner delivers the 3-1. Upstairs fastball misses, and there's a walk to get Taylor on base. As Jalen Groves, like I said, will get a chance to bat now. He's 1 for 1. He singled back in the first inning. Groves standing 6'1". Not the tallest player on the roster, but he certainly has that tall batting stance. He's got a kind of the lanky first baseman look, but he starts in right field and singles into left field. Taylor will advance to second on the single. And now there are 2 on still with 2 out for Easton Mefford. Mefford is 0 for 1 so far in the contest. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, but wound up getting caught stealing to end that first inning. The left-handed center fielder awaits the first pitch. It misses inside. The count is 1-0. Mefford on the season batting .333. He has struck out 8 times this summer, which is the most for any one player on the team, but now an RBI opportunity and a chance to tie the game as that tying run is out there in scoring position in the person of Jaden Taylor. And again with Jalen Groves over there at first. The 1-0 pitch was in the zone, and it's 1-1. And now Craner delivers the pitch. Goes fastball again. Medford got a piece of it, but fouled it back into the glove of Beal. And so the count is a ball and 2 strikes to the Rangers center fielder. Micah Austin is on deck for Madisonville. Here's the delivery from Craner. And that one is also fouled off. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. Airplane flyover in center field. Not sure if you can make it out on the video stream. But tucked in behind the trees here, not much of anything is going to be seen over center field, as a base hit into center field is going to get by the center fielder, Barry. Took his eye off the ball. Madisonville is going to tie the game. Trying to score from first is Groves. There will be no throw, and Madisonville takes the lead on the error. Now up 5-3. So Medford, you'll get that RBI and the single, advancing on the error. Taylor scored. That's his RBI. Groves scoring all the way from first on that error. And the new score is 5-4. Madisonville has reclaimed the lead. And now we've got a conversation here with the Palmer coaches. See if this might spell the end for Craner. He's been in some hot water so far this inning. Got out of it, but then offered up a 2-out walk and back-to-back 2-out singles. Have scored 2 runs this half inning for Madisonville. While we have a quick moment, want to recognize another one of our sponsors on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com, and that would be Alaska Airlines, who was responsible for getting me here to Wasilla. Went from Medford, Oregon to Seattle, Washington to Anchorage, Alaska, and did it all in about 3 hours. It was about 5 hours. It was a real easy trip. Everything was great. Had some great people on the flight. Was everything that I needed it to be. So big shout out to Alaska Airlines, not only getting me on the air today, but actually getting me to the state of Alaska. First pitch in there called a strike, pardon me. And the count is 0-1 to Micah Austin. With a runner at second, that's Easton Medford. Pitch on the way is popped up right side foul. The count is 0-2. Austin 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out back in the second inning. But some insurance standing out there in scoring position. Again, Madisonville up by a single run. The 0-2. Curveball slaps down the third baseline foul. Count will remain 0-2. After Austin, it's the catcher, Tate Nobles. Set on the mound is Craner, and the pitch. Goes outside with the changeup, got by the catcher Beal for a moment, and Medford thought about taking off for third, but Beal recovering in time, not allowing the runner out there at second to get any further. And so the count will be a ball and 2 strikes as Craner settles back in on the rubber, looks in. Beal delivers the sign as Craner comes set. And the 1-2 pitch is on its way. Elevated fastball. The count is now 2-2. Austin just graduated high school. His class of 2025 stands 5'9" in the right-handed batter's box. Awaits the 2-2 pitch from Reed Craner. It misses upstairs, and the count runs full. Like I said, Nobles on deck after Craner got ahead in this at-bat. Austin doing a nice job of working it back even. Allow Nobles to think he might get a chance this inning. The shortstop Cook holding the runner over there at second. Now returns home as the pitch is fired in and fouled off. Home plate umpire, I think, is out of baseballs, perhaps. All right. Here comes Tate Nobles to the rescue out of the third base dugout. And looks like we'll be ready to go. A 3-2 count with a runner at second. Madisonville has already scored 2 runs in this half inning to take a 5-4 lead. Looking to add more. Craner looking to stop the bleeding as he comes set with the 3-2. Checks the runner at second before delivering home. A line drive, left center field. That will get down and will likely be extra bases. Mefford will score with ease. Rounding into second is Micah Austin. A stand-up double extends the lead for the Rangers, now up 6-4 as he goes ahead and just trades places with Mefford, and it brings up Tate Nobles. That's a double in every inning now for Madisonville. And Tate Nobles steps in now. He's the starting catcher for Madisonville. He's 0 for 1 in the contest. Flew out to left field in the second inning. Pitch on the way from Craner. Ground ball down the third base side is foul. The count is 0-1 to Nobles. Nobles on the season batting .158. He does have 2 doubles out of his 3 hits this season, 3 RBI as well, so hasn't been able to find that consistent attack yet, but has been able to come up in spots where his team has needed him so far this summer. The 0-1 on the way from Craner misses in near the hands of the right-handed hitting Nobles, and the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Back to the top of the order next for Madisonville, as Connor Hutchison waits on deck. Pitch on the way. That one skips by the catcher, Beal. That will allow the runner, Austin, to move to third. And now just 90 feet away from scoring, and the count is 2-1. All right, back in the box, and again a 2-1 count. Craner delivers the pitch. Misses high on the fastball, and the count is 3-1. Craner really trying to get out of this inning. All of these runs have come with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one is in the zone. Fastball outside corner, just below the letters. Good location for Craner, trying to keep it out of the middle of the zone. Rangers have made him pay for that location today. But again, the inning started quickly. They had 2 outs, a walk, and then back-to-back-to-back hits have scored the runs for Madisonville this inning, as the count will remain 3-2. Taylor walked, Groves singled, Mefford singled. He came in to score after Austin doubled, and now Austin stands over there at third. Count is 3-2. And the pitch from Craner is a ground ball left side of the infield, through into left field. That will score Austin. And another 2-out base hit for the Rangers. They will not go away here in the third, continuing to rally. And they now lead 7-4. And going to have a new runner come in for Madisonville. Looks like Nash Lee out there. And we are going to have a new pitcher come in for Palmer. This will spell the end for Reed Craner. He'll exit the game, and we'll find a new pitcher when we return. Going to take a quick break here in the bottom of the third inning. The Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers in day number 2 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
To reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
At Eisler Group, they are confident that their tax and accounting professionals are experienced and trained like no one else. From individual, corporate, partnership, estate, trust, Eisler Group stands ready to help you with all of your financial, tax, and accounting needs. They have been in Klamath Falls for nearly 60 years, raising their families here and being part of the community. The Eisler Group can be found at EislerKF.com. That's ISLERKF.com. EislerKF.com.
Back in the bottom of the third inning where there's 2 outs in a 7-4 ball game, a game in which the Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. New pitcher in the game for Palmer is the right-hander Easton Cook, making his 5th appearance of the summer. They've all been in relief so far. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs, none earned. He struck out 3, and like I said, with no earned runs across, an ERA of 0. Reed Craner exited the game, and he goes over to patrol shortstop. That's where Cook comes in from. So just a straight-across swap for those guys. And there will be a runner at first with 2 outs in the inning. And Connor Hutchison bats now. He is 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first and scored, and doubled in the second. First pitch from Cook, letter high, middle of the plate, and the count is 0-1. Xavier Martin waits on deck. Cook trying to get out of this inning and stop the bleeding. Again, already 4 runs home this inning. It's not going to stop here. Line drive into the gap in left center field. Rounding second, headed for third. And in there standing is Nash Lee. Advancing to second is Connor Hutchison. And so 2 men in scoring position. Hutchison picking up his 2nd double of the day. And this will bring up Xavier Martin, the 9th batter to hit this inning for Madisonville. Layden Bozarth is on deck. He started us with a walk to lead off the inning earlier. All right, 2 men on, still 2 men out. 4 runs home this inning for Madisonville. They lead by 3. Here's the first pitch, misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Martin walked in the first inning, grounded out in the second. Looking for his first hit here. The pitch misses high and away, 2-0. Xavier Martin, I said it earlier in the broadcast today, but was very productive in the tournament in Kenai where the Madisonville Rangers were victorious champions. He was 4 for 9 with 4 RBI in that tournament. This pitch missed outside there. The count 3-0 to Xavier Martin. Now, first base is open, but an off-speed pitch looped in there for a strike. Martin battling back 3-1. Like I said, in a 3-1 count against Martin, who's been swinging a hot stick lately, you don't want to really just offer him up a meatball here, so you can afford to work around the zone with first base open. He goes elevated fastball, and Martin chases it high. And so there you go. The count is full. Not a bad location for Easton Cook. And again, protected by that runner. That base open at first can go just about anywhere and goes 2-seam away and gets the swing and the miss from Martin, and that will end the inning. But Madisonville does score 3 runs in the inning on 5 base hits. They leave 2 men stranded, and they lead 7-4 as we go to the 4th on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
All right, we're getting ready for the top of the fourth inning in the second game of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament, the first game of 4 today. But Madisonville leading this one so far 7-4 through 3 innings. For the Rangers, 7 runs, 10 hits. They have committed 1 error. They have left 4 runners on base today. For the Pioneers, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and they have left 5 runners on base. We've got a new man on the hill for Madisonville. We'll introduce you to Owen McConnell. By the way, no other changes for the team from Kentucky, just a straight across pitching swap as McConnell comes in, appearing in his 3rd game of the summer, his 2nd in relief. Previously pitching 4 innings. He's without a decision so far this year. He's given up 11 hits, 5 earned runs for an ERA of 8.75. And he will get things started against the top of the order for the Palmer Pioneers. It'll be Reed Craner, Easton Cook, and Cody Otto. Let's see what McConnell brings to the ball game. The right-hander delivers the pitch. It misses wide, 1-0. McConnell, class of 2025, 5'7", shifty out there. Looks like a lot of movement in his delivery. As he delivers that pitch in the zone, 1-1. Craner 0 for 2 in the ball game. He struck out and flew out so far in the contest. We'll check in on the final line score for him as the pitcher as well, as he takes that pitch, dips below the knees, and the count is 2-1. That one swung on and missed. The count is even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Craner exited the game that last half inning after pitching 2 2/3 of an innings, giving up 10 hits, 7 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Pitch missed low. The count is 3-2. And here's the delivery from McConnell. Pulls the string, goes changeup on the 3-2 pitch. Had Craner out in front. Send him down on strikes for the 2nd time today. And this will bring up Easton Cook, who is 1 for 2 in the contest. Cook doubled in the first and would come around to score, but flew out to left field in the 2nd. Can see the Wasilla Road Warriors out in left field over the fence, taking a little bit of batting practice. They are up next against Madisonville. Again, it's 4 games today here at Bumpus Fields. Madisonville will play Wasilla next, and then Palmer retakes the field against Klamath Falls. Klamath Falls will stick around to play the final game of the night against the Wasilla Road Warriors. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Cook is going to dip below the zone, 3-0. Cook, by the way, has taken over pitching duties for Reed Craner. Like I said, those guys at shortstop and pitcher just swapped spots in that last half inning. Delivery on the way to Cook. Middle, strike 1. Nice fastball for McConnell to try to get back into this at-bat. You think Cook was probably taken all the way on that pitch. Might not get a better pitch to hit. But in a 3-1 count can still afford to be a little bit choosy and will in fact take ball 4 off the outside part of the plate, and he is on base with 1 out in the inning. Cody Otto stepping in now for Palmer. Let's see. Oh, timeout for looked like a wiffle ball or something. Like I said, Wasilla was out there taking batting practice, so I think a wiffle ball or something like that made its way out onto the field. So after time is called, Cody Otto does get set to step in. 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, struck out in the 3rd. The left-handed bat for the Pioneers looking to get on base. Takes the first pitch in the dirt, gets by the catcher, and that will allow Cook to advance to second. Looks like the ball rolled underneath the fence, went out of play there. And so Cook will go ahead and advance to second. Won't get a chance to go to third with that ball being out of play. And Cody Otto now a chance with a runner in scoring position. McConnell looks in, receives the sign from Nobles. Checks the runner at second and delivers home. Middle fastball, and That is strike one. The count is now even to Cody Otto. Timothy Bridgman is on deck for the Palmer Pioneers. McConnell checks the runner at second before delivering home. Otto lifts a high fly ball to center field. Mefford going back, gets underneath it to make the catch. Tagging from second and advancing to third safely is Easton Cook. And a sacrifice fly for Cody Otto moves that man over. Now with 2 outs in the inning. Oh, did they tag him out at third? Oh, he must have left early at second. Oh, wow. Cook did not tag up properly, so don't give Otto the sacrifice then, as he will go F8 in the book for out number 2. Cook did not tag going to third. He is the third out of the inning, and so really the Pioneers down in order in the fourth inning, and the Rangers will carry a 3-run lead to the bottom of the fourth next. The Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Madisonville leads Palmer 7-4 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. Nestled into the Matsu Valley just off a street called, was it Mystery Street, Mystery Ave? I don't know quite what it is, but it was a mystery coming into the ballpark the first time I showed up. It's like a turnoff into a dirt road, and then, yeah, here are the ball fields with main ball field that we're on here. There's a handful of softball fields behind us. I believe there's a soccer field somewhere around here. When I put it into my phone, it said Bumpus Soccer Field, so I got to imagine there's a soccer field around here somewhere, although I haven't spotted it yet. But a pretty cool, neat little complex back here. Some really nice homes in this area, and it's a very nice spot for a baseball game. Very intimate setting, not a lot of seating. A lot of people are here pitching up their own chairs and things like that, but boy, it's very cool to just kind of be tucked away, hidden back here, experiencing our own tournament. And right now, Madisonville leading against Palmer 7-4. It'll be Layden Bozarth who leads things off for Madisonville. He'll take ball one high. The count is 1-0. Bozarth in the game so far is 1 for 1. He doubled in an RBI and would later come in to score in the first inning. He walked in the third as he takes the ball outside there. The count is 2-0. Madisonville, again, fresh off a win in Kenai at the Woodbat tournament there. Defeated the host team 2-0 in the championship game. They are trying to do what only 3 teams have ever done, and that is go for the Triple Crown in the Alaska Airlines Tournament Tour, winning in Kenai, winning here in Wasilla, and then winning in Anchorage later on in the week. Only 3 squads have ever done that, and they completed the first leg, like I said, back on Sunday. Here's a fly ball out to center field. Barry moves underneath it to make the catch, 1 away in the fourth inning. As we get ready to take a look at Hayden Hudson, who is 1 for 2 today. He had a 2 RBI single in the first inning and a line out in the third, which wound up being a double play at that moment. But I mean, Madisonville really continued to rally in the third inning earlier today after those 2 outs, walks, and then 5 straight hits allowed them to score 4 runs as a curveball misses outside, 1-0. Like I said, completing the first leg of the Alaska Airlines Tournament Tour, Madisonville claimed gold in Kenai back on Sunday. They're trying to join Napoleon from Ohio in 2022, Castroville from Texas in 2015, and Napoleon again in 2011 as the only teams to ever go with 3 straight first place finishes at Kenai, Wasilla, and Anchorage later on in the week. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. The count is now 2-1 to Hayden Hudson. Napoleon won 2 of the 3 tournaments last year, trying to make it 3 total Triple Crown victories for them. As a fastball off the top of the helmet for Hudson, he'll take first. It looks like he's okay, but that hit off the top of the old dome. He'll take first. But Napoleon wasn't able to win a Triple Crown last summer because they didn't participate in the Wasilla tournament. Not that they would have been able to win it anyway, even if they may have been a favorite coming into the event. What we know now is that the 2024 Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament Championship game was rained out, so no one was a champion a year ago. It would have been Wasilla versus West Anchorage for the championship game. All right, here we go, and Jaden Taylor will have to wait for his first offering as they check on the runner Hudson over there at first. He's back safely. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning, a game in which the Madisonville, Kentucky Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers 7-4. Pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Taylor flew out in the first and walked in the third. Would later come in to score when he walked last inning. 1-0 pitch is also going to miss in around the hands, upstairs, 2-0. The last tournament champion here in Wasilla, crowned in 2023, the Eugene Challengers defeated Lower Columbia of Washington 11-0 in that title game. Here's a fly ball right side in foul territory. It's the first baseman who comes in to make the catch. Otto puts that away for the second out. And now it'll be Jalen Groves, who's 2 for 2 in the ball game so far. Groves singled in the first and singled in the third as well. Would come in to score that second trip around the bases. He'll hit here with 2 away and a runner aboard at first, and his team leads by 3. Move over to first, and again, back safely is Hudson over there. Earned his trip to first after being hit by the pitch. On deck is Easton Mefford for the Rangers of Madisonville. Set on the mound is Cook, and the pitch is fisted foul. Might be playable in foul territory. And no, it will drop foul. Count 0-1 to Jalen Groves. Groves on the season batting .385 for Madisonville. All of his hits have been singles. And he's, again, added 2 more already today. Cook takes a long look over at Hudson at first before coming set, then delivers ball 1. A high fastball evens the count to Jalen Groves. Groves will be a senior next year. Stands 6'1" in the right-handed batter's box. Goes with the no batting gloves look as he hits a line drive into center field, and a 2-out base knock will advance Hudson to second. And Groves now 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. This will bring up Easton Mefford. Just a steady attack for Groves today. He's not the only Ranger to go 3 for 3 so far, as Connor Hutchison is 3 for 3 with a couple of doubles. But it's been consistent for these guys today. The 11th base hit for Madisonville in the game as Mefford takes strike 1. Mefford is 1 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, and he singled in a run in the third. Would also come in to score himself last inning. This pitch is in the dirt, gets by Beal. Both runners will advance. Hudson to third, Groves to second, and the count will be a ball and a strike to Easton Mefford. But now 2 men in scoring position for the center fielder for Madisonville. Mefford with 3 RBI on the season already. That's including the one he had back in the third inning. And that pitch misses upstairs. The count 2-1. Medford bats .333 on the year for Madisonville. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. The second baseman, Lingang, backhands it. Throw on to first is in time, and that will get Palmer out of the inning. Madisonville collects one base hit. They leave two men stranded, and they'll take a 3-run lead to the top of the fifth. Next, this is the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Set for the top of the fifth inning, the Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers 7-4. It'll be Timothy Bridgman, Hayden Sherman, and Tristan Berry do up this half for Palmer as they try to battle back into this game. They're 1-0 in the tournament. They beat Wasilla last night, but Madisonville, who's been playing very well as of late behind some dominant pitching, is looking to come to town and complete the second leg of their Alaska Airlines tour. Of course, with the stop in Kenai, Wasilla, and Anchorage, I've said that now a few times, but they're the only team here doing that this summer, playing in all three tournaments. Snap pitch misses outside. The count is 1-0. That one missing low. The count 2-0 to Timothy Bridgman, who has walked each of his first two at-bats and came around to score in the third inning. Working out there is Owen McConnell, and the pitch is lifted into the air into center field. Moving over is Medford. He'll make the catch for the first out in the fifth inning. So one away now for Hayden Sherman. Sherman has almost done it all this game. I mean, he hasn't had a base hit yet, but outside of that, he's done it all. And a sacrifice fly with an RBI in the first inning. Reached on a fielder's choice, came around to score in the third inning, has made some outstanding defensive plays in the game so far as he takes ball one high there, 1-0. Now the task falls to Sherman to try to start the rally for Palmer as McConnell delivers the pitch. That one below the knees, over the plate but low. The count is 2-0 to Hayden Sherman. Sherman batting from the right side. He'll be a junior next season. Here's the pitch. That one again below the knees, over the plate, but the count is 3-0 to Sherman. Tristan Berry is on deck. The pitch will miss, and a 4-pitch walk delivered to Sherman. First walk delivered by McConnell in the game. And here is Tristan Berry. 1 for 2 in the contest, a single and a run scored in the third inning. That was the inning in which Palmer claimed the lead at the time, and they were up 4-3. That was before Madisonville rallied for 4 runs in their third inning. First pitch missed below the knees. Again, over the plate, but low to Berry. That's where McConnell's been missing these last about 4 pitches. Going to have to elevate that a little bit to Berry, who's ahead in the count. Here's the offering from McConnell. Again, missing low over the plate, 2-0. Might have been off speed that time. Barry batting from the right side, just wrapped up his sophomore year in Wasilla. He'll be class of 2028. No players younger than sophomores to be for Palmer, guys who just wrapped up their freshman season. Nobody coming out of 8th grade, which I've seen a little bit doing Legion ball this year in Oregon. Here's the pitch. It's going to find the zone just right at the letters over the plate, and the count is 2-1. I think Barry thought it was a little bit high. He'll have to settle back in, though. Still ahead in the count with 1 away and a runner at first. Looking in is McConnell, gets the sign from Nobles. And here's the pitch. It is a ground ball left side of the infield, through into left field. And a 1-out single for Tristan Berry makes him 2 for 3 on the afternoon as Sherman advances to second, and it'll bring up Hudson Broder. Broder 0 for 2 today, although an RBI on the ground out in the third. He's looking for his first base hit as he represents the tying run here in the top of the 5th inning. Broder, the right-handed hitter, settles in. And the pitch, he shows bunt, lays it down the third baseline, perfectly placed bunt. Hutchison up with it, throw on to first is there, but you couldn't ask for a better placed bunt there from Broder as Sherman advances to third. Barry in at second. Now Sawyer Lingang with 2 outs and 2 men in scoring position. Chance to try and bring Palmer within a run if he can find a way to send a ball into the outfield, catch a base hit here. Sawyer, class of 27, utility player, can do just about everything out there defensively as the pitch is popped up, out of play on the right side. The count is 0-1. Right now, just needs to have an even approach and try to find some green out there in the outfield. Sherman stands at third, Barry at second, a lot of speed at second, so doesn't have to be hit particularly hard to try and score Barry from second, as Palmer trails Madisonville by 3. Here's the 0-1 to Lingang. He takes it for a ball down and away. The count is 1-1. If the inning continues, Wyatt Beal is on deck for the Pioneers. McConnell looks in, has the sign from Nobles, and is set. Here's the pitch. Line drive, left field, base hit. 1 run is going to score. They're sending in Barry. The throw is not in time, and a 2 RBI single for Sawyer Lingang. Second 2 RBI single for him today. He is 3 for 3 with 4 RBI, and he brings the Pioneers within 1. The score is 7-6. Good approach there by Lingang to knock in each of those 2 runners. Like I said, 4 total RBI on the game for him. He's the guy you wanted in that spot, and he comes through in a big way. Now, the tying run is on first with Wyatt Beal at the plate. First pitch to Beal, checks his swing on a curveball that was in the zone. And the count is 0-1 to Beal, who's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He grounded out in the third, but was hit by a pitch in the second. Offering on the way is a 2-seam fastball, started off the outside part of the plate, but broke back over towards the right-hander, and Beal took it for strike 2. Back to the top of the order next with Reed Craner for the Pioneers. The 0-2 on the way from McConnell is a ground ball up the middle into center field, and another 2-out base hit for the Pioneers. That will move Lingang into scoring position. Beal aboard at first, and Reed Craner now with the tying run in scoring position. And the go-ahead run on base, he'll hit with 2 outs. Timeout is called. And before Craner gets a chance to swing the stick here, he will talk to his coach down there on the third base side. Want to remind you that today's broadcast on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com is in fact brought to you by Alaska 529. You can start your savings account today at Alaska529plan.com. Save today for tomorrow's discoveries and take the first step with Alaska 529. All right, runner at second is Lane Gang. Beal aboard at first. And Reed Craner, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game, looking to knock in that tying run out there in scoring position. McConnell, the first pitch. First pitch swinging, strike one. Craner comes up empty on the hard stuff down the middle. After Craner in the order, it's Easton Cook, who's going to hope for a chance to keep the rally going for Palmer. But right now, it's on Craner. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field, base hit. Lane Gang is being waved in to score. The throw will be cut off, and we are tied. An RBI single from Reed Craner knots us up at 7 as Lane Gang scored from second. Advancing to second was Wyatt Beal, and the RBI single ties us up in the top of the 5th inning. Now we're going to see a meeting between the players for Madisonville as their lead has evaporated here in the 5th inning, giving up 3 runs and 2 more men out there on base with a runner in scoring position for Easton Cook. First of 4 games today. If this is any indication of what's to come, it's going to be a fun day of baseball. Second game scheduled to start at about 1:30 as Wasilla will take on Madisonville. It's been a back-and-forth affair here in the first game of day number 2 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Here's the first pitch to Easton Cook. Takes it for a strike. Cook less than thrilled with that strike call, up above his letters, but over the plate, he falls behind in the count, 0-1. After Cook in the order is Cody Otto. Cook today 1 for 2. He doubled in the first inning. He takes a pitch in the dirt, gets by Nobles, and rolls to the backstop. Both runners will advance. It is the runner in for Beal at third. I must have missed when Meals checked into the game. Apologies there to the young man, Sam Meals, who's aboard at third now. And advancing to second on that pass ball was Reed Craner. So now, not only do you have the go-ahead runner at third, you've also got some insurance in scoring position for Easton Cook. No lead has been safe so far. Palmer looking to claim the lead as ball 1 is taken there, below the knees, maybe a touch outside. The count is 1-1. Palmer took our first lead of the game back in the first inning when they led 1-0. Madisonville fired back with 3 of their own in the bottom half of that inning. As that pitch misses low, 2-1. Scoreless in the second, but in the third, Palmer again. They retook the lead, led 4-3. But in the bottom of the third, Madisonville rallied for 4 runs to put themselves up 7-4. And now, all tied up at 7, and a walk worked by Easton Cook will load the bases for Cody Otto. Going to have a meeting out there on the mound for Madisonville. Coach Jamie Mills, assisted by Wes Davenport, Mark Austin, and Brian Thompson. Like I said, 1:30 is our next game scheduled to start as Madisonville takes on Wasilla. Palmer will retake the field at 4 against the Klamath Falls Falcons. And then at 6:30, those Falcons will take on Wasilla for the nightcap today. Tomorrow, Madisonville takes on Klamath Falls before a title game at 4. That wraps up the tournament at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here at Bumpus Fields in Wasilla. Still out there discussing things on the mound for the team from Kentucky. They're going to keep McConnell out there. There's 3 two-out hits and then a walk that has gotten these runs in to score this half inning. And now the number 9 hitter this inning, number 3 hitter in the order, takes a cut at the first pitch, he says, and rips it foul. The count is 0-1 to Cody Otto, who is 1 for 3 in the ballgame. He singled in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out to center field in the fourth. Now a golden opportunity to give his team a lead with the bases loaded in an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch to Otto. Inside fastball misses just above his shoelaces. Otto evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Otto this season, team's second leading hitter, batting .318 this summer for the Pioneers. And the pitch is taken for a strike, knee high, outer third. The count, a ball and 2 strikes to Otto. Big pitch coming up for both sides. McConnell trying to get out of this inning, only leaving it tied. Otto trying to take the lead. He'll take strike 3 on the inside corner. Otto down looking to end the inning, but Palmer does tie it. They score 3 runs in the inning on 4 base hits, and they leave the bases loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 7. The Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
My name is Josh Eldridge, and welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Today's coverage brought to you in part by the Alaska Sports Report. Be sure you head on over to Alaska Sports Report, get news on all sports going on around the 49th state, whether it's prep news or mountain running or baseball, soccer, football, whatever you want, it is there at AlaskaSportsReport.com. All right, ready for the bottom of the 5th inning in a brand new ball game, tied up at 7. And for the Rangers this half, it'll be Micah Austin, Tate Nobles, and Connor Hutchison. That is 8, 9, and 1 in their order as they look to reclaim the lead. Ball 1 offered up by Easton Cook, who's now into his 3rd inning of relief for Palmer. Delivery on the way from Cook is a curveball that misses low. The count is now 2-0, I believe. Got a score update from the Midnight Sun Tournament title game in Fairbanks. We'll share it with you here in just a moment as that pitch is fouled off. The count is 2 balls and a strike. Kings leading Central Point, a team from Oregon, 1-0 in the 3rd inning. We'll keep you updated on that game as we move out throughout our game here in Wasilla. So Austin ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike, lifts another ball foul. The count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting second baseman for Madisonville. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, had an RBI double back in the 3rd. He also struck out in the 2nd. Cook ready to deliver the pitch from the windup. Curveball, line drive, left center field, down for a base hit. Micah Austin collecting a single to start the bottom of the 5th inning, make him 2 for 3 on the ball game, and this will bring up Tate Nobles. Nobles is 1 for 2 himself today. Had an RBI single in the 4-run 3rd inning for the Rangers. Go-ahead run there on first base for Nobles as he settles in. First pitch on the way. High fastball lifted in the air, right center field. Tough ball to get to, and the center fielder Barry will lay out for it, but he comes up empty. Rounding second, headed for third is Micah Austin, and a single will put runners at the corners for Connor Hutchison as Madisonville looks to take the lead in the bottom of the fifth inning. And it looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner in for Nobles. Looks like it's going to be Nash Lee, 5'9" junior for Madisonville. And we've got timeout on the field as Palmer wants to talk this over. With runners at the corners and nobody out, Madisonville probably going to get a little creative on the base paths here. So Palmer just wanted to discuss how exactly they want to approach this situation and try to protect the tie that they worked themselves back even in the top half of this inning, scoring 3 runs on 4 hits, and most of the production coming with 2 outs in the inning. They worked hard to battle back even. They don't want to see it slip away so soon. But it's going to have to take a lot of discipline, maybe a little bit of luck. It looks like Palmer might be making a pitching change. And I think they are. Looks like Easton Cook's day on the mound is complete. And so we'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we return. It looks like it's going to be Sherman. And so we'll confirm that here in just a moment. But we'll step aside. More of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on Alaska Legion Baseball is next.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
All right, appreciate your patience. For those of you watching on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com, at the bottom of the fifth inning, we've got a new pitcher. It's Hayden Sherman on the bump for Palmer. I was working on the other changes. As Sherman comes in from left field, the center fielder Barry moves over to left, and, well, first pitch swinging for Connor Hutchinson. That's going to score a run. Don't have time to get everything settled as we are ready to go, and Madisonville takes an 8-7 lead on the RBI single from Connor Hutchinson, make him 4 for 4 on the ball game. That'll be his first RBI, knocking in Micah Austin from third. Lee moves up to second base, and aboard at first is Hutchinson. So let's try this again. Sherman in pitching. He comes in from left field. Replacing him in left field is Tristan Berry. Replacing Berry in center field is Reed Craner. Replacing Craner at short is the former pitcher Easton Cook. So there are the changes that last go around for Palmer. As we'll take a statistical outlook on Hayden Sherman on the season for Palmer after the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, 1-1 to Xavier Martin. Sherman is, as far as I can tell, making his first appearance of the summer. Don't see any stats for him so far this year. As a ball in the dirt, they tried to backdoor the runner at second, but the throw wound up in center field and allows both men to advance. So Lee goes to third. Hutchinson now in at second. 2 men in scoring position. Still nobody out at the plate. I believe the count will be 2 balls and a strike to Xavier Martin. Martin still looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Now, he did walk in the first and score. And here sends a ball high, deep to right field. That one is caught on the run by the right fielder, Broder. But tagging from third and scoring is Nash Lee. And Madisonville adds to their lead. Now up 9-7 on the sacrifice fly and the RBI from Xavier Martin. Advancing to third on that play, by the way, tagging up from second is Connor Hutchison. So with one away and a runner at third, in steps Layden Bozarth. Bozarth is 1 for 2 today. An RBI double came in the first inning. He has since walked and flown out. Here's ball 1. Delivered to him there. And can't quite close the book on Cook yet. He's still responsible for that runner in at third. But we'll do that as soon as we can. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Infield comes in for Palmer, and a high fly ball to left field. Barry backpedaling underneath it, makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring standing is Connor Hutchison. And so 3 runs home this inning for Madisonville as they build out a 10-7 lead. Another sacrifice fly, this time, though, credited to Bozarth. And it'll bring up Hayden Hudson with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch is in the zone. The count is 0-1. Madisonville up by 3 runs, and now we can take a look at the final line score for Easton Cook. We'll do it here in just a minute as that pitch is low in the dirt. The count is even now at 1. Easton Cook pitched an inning and a third. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, each of them earned, and he struck out 1. That is the line score there for Easton Cook. Count 2-1 to Hudson, and the delivery on the way from Sherman is popped up, right side out of play, and the count is even now 2-2. After Hudson, in the order for Madisonville, it is Jaden Taylor. Pitch on the way. Curveball in there for a strike, and down looking goes Hudson to end the 5th inning. But Madisonville does take a lead on 3 base hits. No runners left stranded. We'll go to the 6th in a 10-7 ball game at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever. Wonder
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting set for the top of the 6th inning at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. It is the Madisonville Rangers who lead the Palmer Pioneers 10-7. So far for Madisonville, 10 runs on 13 hits. They have committed 1 error, and they have left 6 runners on base. For Palmer, 7 runs on 9 hits. They've committed 1 error, and they have left 7 runners on base so far in the contest. Leading off is going to be the third baseman, Timothy Bridgman. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Hayden Sherman, and the left fielder, Tristan Berry. So we get set to go in the 6th. Owen McConnell still out there working for Madisonville. The first pitch is a 2-seam fastball, crept back over the plate. The count is 0-1. So far in the game for Bridgman, he is 0 for 1. He walked twice and scored once, but his only official at-bat was a fly ball to center field. Sends a weak fly ball to the right side. It's Austin who tracks it down in shallow right field, puts that one away for the first out. And now Hayden Sherman getting ready to step in now. Sherman with a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first inning. Since then, he's reached on a fielder's choice and scored. He also walked and scored in the 5th inning. Pitch on the way. First pitch swinging. Ground ball towards third. Underneath the glove of Mitchison and into left. And Sherman will reach on the error with 1 out in the 6th inning. So now it'll be Tristan Berry, who's 2 for 3 today. Berry singled and scored in each the 3rd and 5th innings. It's been back and forth between these teams today. Again, a score of 10-7. Each team has had the lead and given it up twice. Madisonville took the lead for the 3rd time in that last half inning as the first pitch missed below the zone. 1-0 to Tristan Berry. Don't often see that many lead changes in a baseball game, but that's been the kind of game we've had today. It's been an entertaining one, that's to say the very least. Here's the pitch. It is in the zone. The count is 1-1. Again, next game is scheduled to start at 1:30. I imagine we'll more than likely be able to get that one in starting on time here in the top of the 6th inning. Berry awaits the pitch from McConnell, and the delivery is off the outside part of the plate. That was the 4-seam instead of the 2-seam, so didn't have that backwards movement going towards the righty. So it just stayed off the outside part of the plate, and Berry spit on it to get ahead 2-1. After Berry, it's Hudson Broder. Pitch on the inside, and it's going to be over the head of the shortstop and into left field. I think that might have taken a pretty crazy hop. View was kind of obstructed by the catcher and the umpire, but that's okay. I think that would be a base hit for Berry, making him 3 for 4, advancing Sherman to 2nd on that base hit, and bringing up Hudson Broder, representing the tying run in the top of the 6th inning. Broder 0 for 3, though. Pardon me, 0 for 2. He had an RBI sacrifice out in the 3rd inning, but has flown out and grounded out in the 2nd and 5th innings. Here's the first pitch to Broder. He lays down a bunt right in front of the mound. The pitcher McConnell up with it. Throw on to first is in time, but both runners advance into scoring position with 2 outs. A sacrifice bunt for Broder will advance Sherman to 3rd and Berry to 2nd. And here's the guy you want up in this spot. If the rest of his line score is any indication, Sawyer Lingang is 3 for 3 with a double and 4 RBI on the day for him. And he bats with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Pitch on the way is down and in the dirt. The count is 1-0. Lingang also scored a run when he singled in the 5th. Stays tall in the right-handed batter's box. He awaits the offering from Owen McConnell. The pitch Two-seam fastball stayed outside. The count is 2-0 to the second baseman for Palmer. Lingang, class of 27, has come up big in these spots already today. Each of his hits where he collected RBIs, it was a single in the third and a single in the fifth. Each were 2 RBI singles. They both came with 2 outs in the inning. And so, yeah, he has been here before, and now ahead in the count 2-0. Going to look for a pitch to hit from Owen McConnell. McConnell comes set, and the delivery is a ground ball, left side foul. Counts 2 balls and a strike to Lingang. Wyatt Beal is on deck for the Palmer Pioneers. Again, 2-1 at the plate. Big pitch on the way. McConnell going to try to get one over on Lingang as he comes set. The pitch is in the dirt. It gets by the catcher, and a run will score, but a swinging strike makes the count 2-2. The score is 10-8 as Sherman came in to score on the pass ball. Barry advanced to third. So now just 1 RBI is the opportunity for Lingang, but still an important run in the 6th inning. You'd like to get as close as you can before trying to climb the rest of the way back in the 7th inning. Score 10-8, and a runner at third, a 2-2 count to Sawyer Lingang. The delivery is fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. McConnell back on the rubber, shaking his throwing arm as he looks in and gets the sign from Nobles, who himself gets it from the third base dugout. Nobles delivers the sign to his pitcher and gives the target. Here's the 2-2. Outside fastball taken for ball 3. And the count is full. First base is open with 2 outs, and Wyatt Beal, again, he's on deck. Here's the pitch. That one misses, ball 4. Lingang on base with 2 outs in the inning. That puts runners at the corners for Wyatt Beal. Now with 2 outs in the inning, we'll see if Palmer gets a little bit experimental out there on the base paths. Might try to manufacture that run with some trickery out there. Seen it happen before. Could just let Wyatt Beal swing away as well. He's 1 for 2 today. Also had an RBI in the win last night against Wasilla to start this tournament. That pitch misses down and away. The count is 1-0 to Wyatt Beal. Beal, class of 28, just wrapped up his freshman season of high school baseball for Palmer. Pitch to Beal. That one nearly got him inside, had to scoot out of the way of it. The count is now 2-0 to the young man from Palmer. Back to the top of the order next with Reed Craner. Runner at third is Barry. Runner at first is Lingang. Haven't seen any movement from him on the first 2 pitches. Might be waiting for strike 1 to come across, but could also just be staying pat, waiting for Beal to try to come up with a knock with 2 outs. Here's the 2-0. That one misses low and away. 3-0 in danger of loading the bases. Tying run already on base, and Beal would represent the go-ahead run in the top of the 6th inning. Set on the mound is McConnell. That pitch misses high and will load the bases. Lingang to second. Beal aboard at first. We'll see if they bring in their courtesy runner like they have. What do we got? Meeting on the mound as well for Madisonville. Looks like they are going to go to the bullpen here in the top of the 6th inning. And so we will step aside, and we will be back in just a moment as we resume your coverage of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament from Wasilla, Alaska on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
At Eisler Group, they are confident that their tax and accounting professionals are experienced and trained like no one else. From individual, corporate, partnership, estate, trust, Eisler Group stands ready to help you with all of your financial, tax, and accounting needs. They have been in Klamath Falls for nearly 60 years, raising their families here and being part of the community. The Eisler Group can be found at EislerKF.com. That's ISLERKF.com. EislerKF.com.
And welcome you back to our coverage from Bumpus Fields at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament in Wasilla, Alaska. Top of the sixth inning in a close one, a back-and-forth affair right now sees Madisonville in front 10-8. But with 2 outs in the top of the sixth inning, Palmer has the bases loaded. And this will trigger the Rangers to go to the bullpen and tap in Evan Lear, the 5'11 right-hander for Madisonville. Lear is making his second appearance of the summer. He's only pitched 2 innings so far this summer, giving up 3 hits and a run, and he struck out 4 in those 2 innings of work. He's looking to get his team out of this jam with the tying and go-ahead run on base. And Reed Craner, the leadoff hitter for Palmer, is going to be due up when he completes those warm-up tosses. While we have just a brief moment, want to again remind you our sponsors on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com include Alaska Airlines. Not only do they sponsor our broadcast today, but also our naming sponsor of all 3 of the tournaments, which fall under the Alaska Airlines Tour, which includes the Kenai Tournament, this tournament here in Wasilla, and the tournament going on later on this week in Anchorage, Alaska. Big thanks to Alaska Airlines for sponsoring our broadcast today. It's been a great one. Glad to be a part of it. Here's the pitch. It's going to be taken high. 1-0, the count to Reed Craner as Lear comes into the game. By the way, just a straight across swap. McConnell exits. Lear is in. And no changes to the batting order as Madisonville has gone with the DH. That pitch misses upstairs. 2-0. After Craner in the order is Easton Cook for Palmer. Lear at 200 pounds is the near heaviest player on the team. He packs a punch. That big leg kick comes with the velocity, but that time pulls the string on the changeup and battles back 2-1 to Reed Craner. Has a lot of pop to the glove with that fastball, but that changeup was pretty significant velocity difference there from the right-hander. See where he goes in the 2-1. It's an inside fastball, jams up. Craner pops it up in the infield. Playable for the second baseman, Austin, who puts that away and ends the inning. Palmer gets 1 in the frame on 1 base hit, but they leave the bases loaded, and they'll trail by 2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament in Wasilla on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Getting set for the bottom of the sixth inning in a 10-8 ball game in which the Madisonville Rangers lead the Palmer Pioneers in game number 2 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here at Bumpus Fields in Wasilla, Alaska. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Madisonville as they look to extend their 2-run lead. Jaden Taylor will lead off, followed by Jalen Groves and Easton Mefford. Also talked with our home plate umpire today, was reminding me about the 2-hour, 15-minute time limit that we have to finish out this game today, and that time limit comes up in about 11 minutes. Actually, now 9 minutes. So no new inning will start. So for Palmer, they're going to try to make quick work of Madisonville this half inning to try to give them a shot in the 7th. As that pitch misses low, the count is 1-0. If you're curious for Palmer who's due up in the next half inning, it's Cook, Otto, and Bridgman. That's 2, 3, 4 in their order, as the count is 2-0 to Taylor. Now for Hayden Sherman out there, the key is, well, he knows about the time limit too. He knows what's at stake. He knows he's got to make quick work of this inning, but he can't hurry. The old saying of be quick but don't hurry. That's what he has to embody here as that pitch misses outside. 3-0, trying to produce pitches to hit for Jaden Taylor. And again, give his team a chance. Here's the pitch. Is taken for a strike. 3-1 to Jaden Taylor, who is 0 for 2 in the ball game. A couple of flyouts in the first and fourth innings. He also walked and scored in the third. That pitch misses wide and will be a 5-pitch walk to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Second walk for Taylor today as Jalen Groves gets ready to step in now. He is 3 for 3 in the contest with 3 singles and a run scored. That came in the 3rd inning. And he will bat with nobody out and that runner aboard at first. Groves batting on the season for Madisonville is .385 batting average. It's a foul ball. The first pitch to him, the count is 0-1. Easton Mefford is on deck for the Rangers. Sherman looks in, gets the sign from Beal, and the delivery is going to miss outside, trying to backdoor the runner at first. Oh, they didn't get him very close down there at first. The pitch misses. It's 1-1. Almost got Taylor back there at first. All right, Sherman back on the rubber looking in. Pitch to Groves. Middle fastball rolled over to third. Gloving it as Bridgman goes to second for 1. They won't get the back end, but they do get the lead runner. So Groves will reach safely on the fielder's choice. Taylor is out on the play. 1 away and a runner remains at first for Easton Mefford. What do we got? Timeout for, what are we talking about here? Are we going to discuss the runner being out at first, perhaps? Not entirely certain. Are they going to say that maybe there was obstruction by the runner at second? I think that's what they're discussing, perhaps, to try to make it into a double play. I think they're maybe talking about obstruction. That's the only thing I can think of, although I don't rightly know. But while they discuss, I'll go ahead and highlight some more of our sponsors here on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. The Alliance, which is working in support of Alaska American Legion Baseball. They raise money through the school district, through the state government to maintain fields and operate the prep high school conferences in the area. The group is led by Steve Nerlin, Don Winchester, and Willie Paul, and their media director, Mr. Van Williams, was in charge of getting me here to Alaska today and allowing me to broadcast all the games at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. So nothing came of that brief meeting on the mound, or between the coaches and the umpires. Groves is still over there at first, and Easton Mefford stepping in for Madisonville. An upstairs fastball called a strike. Left that one hanging out there for Mefford to take advantage of, but he laid off of it. Mefford enters this at bat 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the third inning. It's going to be called a strike. The count is 0-2. Mefford tried to call time. The home plate umpire didn't honor him, as Sherman had pretty much started his delivery by the time Mefford had called time. And so that fastball is going to be in there for a strike. And the count is 0-2 to the center fielder for Madisonville. Sherman with the delivery, ground ball to first. First baseman Otto knocks it down. Didn't field it cleanly enough to turn 2, so he'll just take it to the bag himself for the second out. Advancing to second on the play is Groves, and this will bring up Micah Austin with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. Austin today 2 for 3. He struck out in the second inning, but has since doubled in a run in the third and scored. And he also singled and scored in the fifth. Sherman with the delivery to Austin finds the zone. The count is 0-1, about letter high, middle of the plate, and Austin gets ahead. Or pardon me, Austin falls behind. Sherman gets ahead, the man on mound. Right-hander delivers. Misses high. That one just a touch more elevated than the previous pitch. The count is 1-1 to Micah Austin. Austin bats an even 200 on the summer for Madisonville. Here's the pitch. That one misses in the same location the last one did. 2-1. Maybe a touch inside on that last pitch as well. Again, coming up on that 2-hour, 15-minute time block. We're at 2:13 right now. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Up with it is the shortstop, Cook. Throw on to first will be in time. And Palmer will have a chance at the top of the 7th inning. Right now they trail 10-8. We'll be back in just a moment on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
It's the top of the 7th inning, and Madisonville looking to close out the Palmer Pioneers up 10-8. We'll see if Easton Cook, Cody Otto, or Timothy Bridgman have anything to say about it, as they will be the 3 to get things going in the 7th inning for Palmer. They're 1-0 in this tournament already with that win over Wasilla last night, but Madisonville looking to start the tournament themselves 1-0. They've already completed the first leg of their Alaska Airlines tour with the tournament victory in Kenai just on Sunday, and looking to get ahead 1-0 in this tournament. They've played very well. Both teams, frankly, have played really well. It's been a back-and-forth game all day long. Palmer took the first lead of the game in the first inning, but Madisonville scored 3 in the bottom half of that inning to take a 3-1 lead. Palmer responded with 3 runs of their own in the third to take a 4-3 lead, but Madisonville scored 4 in the bottom half of that inning to take a 7-4 lead. Scoreless in the 4th, but in the 5th inning, Palmer again rallied, scoring 3 runs in that inning to jump ahead 7-4 before Madisonville scored 3 runs in the bottom half. 7-7. They tied the game before Madisonville reclaimed the lead, and they scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 5th to get their 10 runs. Palmer scored a single run in the 6th. That's how we get our score of 10-8. So we get ready to take a look at Easton Cook. The count is 2-0 to him. A couple of breaking balls from Evan Lear, missed. Cook today is 1 for 2. He doubled in the first inning, has since flown out and walked twice. The count of ball and a strike at the plate to Cook. And the pitch on the way from Lear. It's a ground ball out towards second. Austin is up with it. The throw on to first is in time. And Cook is down to start the 7th inning. This will bring up Cody Otto, who is 1 for 4 today. A single in the first inning, has since struck out twice and flown out once. The left-handed bat for Palmer will be tasked with trying to start this rally, stay alive in this ball game. First pitch misses high. The count is 1-0. Couple of clouds overhead here in Wasilla. Rain in the forecast today, but it's been nice so far. 60 degrees right now, and actually I don't see rain anymore in the forecast until potentially later on tonight, or hopefully not at all. It's the count now, a ball and a strike to Cody Otto, who fouled off that last one towards the Madisonville dugout. And Lear ready to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Misses upstairs. Count 2-1. Bridgman is on deck, the third baseman for the Palmer Pioneers. Pitch on the way. Is hit in the air, shallow center field. Over is the shortstop, Bozarth, to make the catch on the cut of the grass for the second out. 2-out rally time for Palmer as they are down to their final out of the ball game. Timothy Bridgman will be the man to step in and try to get things going. He's 0 for 2 today. He walked in his first 2 at-bats, has since flown out twice. Dominating right-hander on the mound, Lear steps and delivers the pitch. It is taken on the inside corner, about letter high for strike 1. Sherman is on deck if Bridgman can find a way to get on base. And the delivery is a changeup, swung on and missed, 0-2, and just like that, the Palmer Pioneers are down to their final strike of the ball game. Lear looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a low fastball that misses, and the count is 1-2. Here's the 1-2. It is swung on and missed, and Madisonville comes out with a 10-8 victory in their first game of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. We'll be back with a brief post-game show, get you final line scores before we prepare for the second of 4 games today from Wasilla. Josh Eldridge here, back with you in just a moment on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities, because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Josh Eldridge back with you through game 1 of day number 2 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament in Wasilla, Alaska. It's the Madisonville Rangers who defeat the Palmer Pioneers 10-8. 10 runs on 14 hits, 2 errors for Madisonville, and they leave 7 runners on base in the contest. For Palmer, 8 runs on 10 hits. They commit 2 errors, and they leave 11 runners on base. The losing pitcher today is going to be Reed Craner for Palmer, pitching 2 2/3 innings, giving up 9 hits, 7 runs. Each of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Madisonville's winning pitcher, I believe, is going to be McConnell, who pitched the middle 2 2/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. 5 walks, he struck out 2. And Evan Lear comes in with the save, pitching the final 1 1/3 innings, and pushing his team ahead to a 10-8 victory. Brief pause in the action before Madisonville retakes the field. They'll play the host team, the Wasilla Road Warriors, for those of you wanting to watch that game as well. Real simple. What I would do is probably wait until about 10 or 15 minutes have passed. Go back, refresh the YouTube page that you found this live stream on, or head on back over to AlaskaLegionBaseball.com, refresh the page that way, and we'll be live on a brand new video in just a few minutes. Until then, though, my name is Josh Eldridge. Hope that you'll be back with me in just a few minutes as we get ready for Game 2 between Madisonville and Wasilla. Madisonville 1-0 in the tournament. Palmer is 1-1 after this loss today. More baseball, plenty of baseball lays ahead on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. My name is Josh Eldridge saying so long for now, and we'll be back in just a bit.